What's up, YouTube? Steampunk Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, coming at you with a new video.
Happy New Year! Death with Kaijudo.
Death of Kaijudo. That was Jack Asian and Break CG in the background. Happy New Year, YouTube. I want to talk to you guys about the year that passed in Yu-Gi-Oh! And how kind of horrible it was.
Or was it?
It was.
It was terrible.
Okay, I'd like to first talk to you guys about the decks that were played in the format. Wind Up Hand Loop. That didn't start off as much because everybody was playing Max C to counter it and Veilers. And then when Wind Ups kind of fell off the radar, people stopped playing Max Cs. And then Tyler Tabman won Nationals with him. And then everybody and their grandma started playing Wind Up Hand Loop. And you always saw it. But and nobody actually played Shockmaster in it, surprisingly, until this format. I really don't understand that. Another deck that was prevalent, it was Inzectors. 3 Hornets and 3 Dragonflies. You didn't really worry about the 3 Hornets, but the 3 Dragonflies was an issue. Top decking into a Dragonfly always meant kind of sad face for you if you were playing against them. I hated Inzectors. Everybody hated Inzectors last format. It was awful. And then there was Chaos Dragons and Dino Rabbit in the background. 3 Rabbits, 3 Tour Guides made Dino Rabbit pretty consistent, and 3 Red MD made Chaos Dragons bit of a push, to deal with, along with 3 Chaos Orcs. So those were the main decks played of last format. And also, Dark Worlds won YCS Long Beach, and of course they haven't won a YCS since. Okay, so those were the decks that were played. Pretty horrid format, if you ask me. I really didn't like playing in it, even though I was playing Chaos Dragons, kind of, sort of, not really, but still. Future Fusion also was a big problem in Chaos Dragons, because it meant they win. But the September ban list took care of that, so, So another thing that happened last format was a bunch of reprints. Tour Guide got its first reprint, Duality got its second, Lance and Chalice got their reprints, and a lot of other stuff got their reprints in Battle Pack, Epic Dawn, which actually was pretty cool because it was like you get to sealed play with Yu-Gi-Oh, get to play Regeki Break, Harpy's Feather Duster, cool things like that. And YCS Sheffield was the first ever sealed YCS, which actually was pretty cool. I hope we get to see more of those. It might be kind of random, but I hope we do get to see more. I hope we get more battle packs. We probably will. So, yeah. We also got, these 2 tins that just shined all around. And they were the Dolka and Excalibur tins. Dolka tin came way too early, in most people's opinion, because Konami really doesn't like to reprint cards that early. Yeah, so, and also they reprinted Wind Up Rabbit in both the tins, or no, Wind Up Rabbit in 1 tin, Scrap Dragon 1. They reprinted a bunch of good cards in those tins, and those tins were oh, so good. Everybody had to buy them. And then Return of the Duelist came out, and then the end of the horrible, bad Chaos Dragon Inzector Wind Up Hand Loop format bullshit ended. And then we were brought to this format. The beginning was kind of like last format, Wind Ups and Dino Rabbit. But the first YCS was won by Wind Ups. But the Wind Up deck was overshadowed by a very original Grand Soil Psychic deck ran by Jeff Jones. The Grand Soil deck was hyped out the ass. Everybody was on Jeff Jones' dick about it. Everybody had to have Grand Soils, and Grand Soil went up to $40, $50. I even saw some selling for $80, if you can believe it. But the deck failed in comparison to its creator. Nobody could really just play it like he did, I guess. I don't know. It hasn't really done anything. I've played it against it a couple times and kind of destroyed it, so I really don't think much of it. Now, the other deck that came with Return of the Duelist, aside from Grand Soul Psychics, is Geargia. They won a YCS this format too, along with a bunch of other decks, and I'll get to that later. But Geargia was a big hype deck at the beginning of Return of the Duelist release and stuff like that. Armors were 20. Gigant X was currently like the most expensive card in the format, I believe. Probably not, but you know. And it was a really good deck. It hasn't really been doing well nowadays because Mermail probably takes care of it like that. And so after Geargia and Grand Solo and Return of the Duelist was released, we had a bunch of like weird decks winning YCSs and stuff. We had Six Sams win. They seem to like win a YCS every year, so you know. It's pretty early in the year for them to win. And then Inzectors won. They really deserved it. They crushed Mermails with that Dark Arm play. I don't really like the build, but you know, if it works, it works. Another deck that topped a YCS was Zombie Monarchs, if you can actually call it that. I don't want to call it that, but zombies, to whatever extent it was, won or topped a YCS. Notice nobody really paid attention to that deck. So it tells you how much they care about Grand Solo as opposed to zombies. You know. And so we come to the close of this format with the God Tins coming out, reprinting Maxi, you know, Heliopolis for Dark World players, Rescue Rabbit, Zen Mains.
Heliopolis was for Heretic players.
Yeah, okay, Heretic players and Dark World players. And you know, it reprinted all these things. I think Zen Mains came in the earlier tins with Excalibur. And then Rescue Rabbit came in these tins. Yeah, that's how it is. And they reprinted Rescue Rabbit. And then they reprinted Dark Smog in the Abyss Rising Special Edition.
That's for Fabled.
Yeah. And Chess Archfiends. And when Abyss Rising came out, Mermails hit the scene with a big wave of, you know, Dick Riders. I play the deck. I recently picked it up and I love it. You call me a Dick Rider, I don't care.
Dick Rider. Dick Rider.
Butt scratcher. So, with the close of the format, we've got at the top of the charts, Wind-Ups, Inzectors, Dark World, Mermail, and, you know, to an extent, Macro Rabbit. And so I want to wish you guys a happy new year, and hopefully another happy new year, another happy year of Yu-Gi-Oh. See you guys.